What's good, people? It's about that time to randomly relate, reverse rants, no hate. So last night, ping, 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 we got Billy Joe Saunders versus Canelo Alvarez. So let me do this breakdown real quick. First off, salute, congratulations to both fighters. They both came to fight. Now, let me tell you, what I saw was Canelo doing exactly what I expected him to do, which is come out trying to break him down and start breaking him down from round one, going to the body, break him down upstairs and downstairs, but a lot of body shots. Canelo did exactly what I thought he was going to do. Come forward, pressure, pressure. Now, the only time you see Canelo take a backward step is when someone throws a little combination at him or something, and if he needs to back up to get out the way, slide left and right, cover up, okay. But other than that, he's coming forward. Now, there was times when it was just a stalemate. They were there and, okay, what you going to do? No, what you going to do, right? And they're waiting. And I felt like Billy Joe needed to be first. Now, you got to be careful because you can get counted. What I saw in that fight, too, like I said, as far as hand speed, there's no real big advantage. I just feel like Canelo is just more coordinated with his timing, with his shots. Whereas Billy Joe, he likes to throw the jab a lot. He's more of a jabber than he is a combination puncher. He'll start to throw combinations once he sees he can get to you. He threw a few in this fight. But Canelo, again, if you watch, like I said, he's not really fast on his feet. Canelo just waits. He has patience. He'll come walk you down, and he has patience. So, first 4 rounds, I don't know. I mean, I heard something about the scoring, but bottom line, first 4 rounds swayed more to Canelo to me. Okay. I don't know if they gave Billy Joe any of those from 1 round through 4. Billy Joe, okay, he started out kind of standing right in front of him, and Canelo was getting the better of him because Canelo was able to land the shots quicker than Billy Joe was. Billy Joe started slow. I would think he would come out and move more than what he did, because what you can't do is give rounds away. And you can't have the rounds so close that they can go back and forth. Because pretty much, when it comes to the judging, you don't want to in your head be thinking, okay, that was a close round. It could have went either way. You want to feel like, no, I won that round. And that boosts your confidence to keep doing what you're doing, but also give different looks. Now, what Billy Joe was doing was standing there. He ate a lot of body shots early. And even though he was shaking his head and sticking his tongue out and doing all that stuff, there's still points, but these shots add up. They start to slow you down. And he needs his legs to move. So Canelo's smart, he knows. And I'm going to break him to the body. He went to the body early, just like I thought he would. I expected Billy Joe to move more than what he did. Now, when I say move, I don't mean he got to be on the back foot just dancing. No. But that jab, double, triple jabs, moving, give him angles. What Canelo does, he stands in a way where he's coming in front of you, but he's stepping. He's just watching the way you're going. And once you get to the ropes, that's when Canelo's going to try to unload. And he loved to go to the body first. He reached with that body shot. Bang! So he's able to counter with another power shot. Left to the body. All right. Follow through with the right hand. Whether high or low. The point is, he's good at reading what you're doing. Billy Joe was moving, but there's times where I felt like even with the feints, feint, move, jab to the body. This is what I'm looking like, jab to his body. When you're stepping around, jab to his body. You know what I'm saying? Fake the jab, bam, come through, slide out to you. I'm in my head, I'm watching them. All right, come on, Billy Joe. Like this, I'm looking at what both fighters like, who's doing what and what either guy should be doing. Canelo just stayed with his game plan, and Billy Joe came to fight. He did the best he could do. So I'm not saying, well, he should have did this, he should have did this and this. What I'm saying is what I saw. You do what you're capable of doing. That's just the way it is, okay? Rounds 5, 6, 7, even part of the 8th round, Billy Joe was looking good. Things started changing. He had Canelo winging shots. He had Canelo throwing wild shots and missing. And Billy Joe was more on point. He was accurate. He started landing shots. Landed some good, he had a couple good uppercuts. He landed nice left hook. He was getting shots in. Those rounds, he might have won 5, 6, 7. He might have won. I don't know. On the official card I'm talking about. I don't know. But he basically was landing shots, and what was going on was He's dropping his hands. He started getting comfortable, and he was moving in, pop, pop, and, bam. When he was doubling that jab, he had more success. The thing with Canelo is, not only do you have to get his respect, but you got to take him out of his comfort zone. You can't, whatever he's doing, and if he adjusts to what you're doing, you got to give him a different look. That's with any fighter that can switch it like that. But, look, bottom line is this, man. Billy Joe did what he had to do. Canelo did what he had to do. We know all around skills. Canelo's experience is going to play a big factor being in these big fights and seeing all these different styles. Whereas with Billy Joe, whatever he was doing that was working, and for him to switch in between to give different looks to not become predictable, he had to do it for 12 rounds. And plus, we know that as far as punching power, Canelo's going to connect and he throws a lot of power shots, whereas Billy Joe doesn't. It is what it is. The better man won. And look, you can see Billy Joe has the tools. What did I tell you guys? He has the tools. It's how he put it together come fight night. That's what it comes down to. A lot of things that you can point it out, but it's easier said than done a lot of times. We know Canelo's not an easy guy to beat. So, my hats off to both of them, man. Now, as far as people saying, oh, he quit, he's a coward, he talked all this shit. Listen, he has a fractured orbital bone. And basically, you saw him blinking when he was in the corner. And even if you watch the eighth round is when it happened, Billy Joe Saunders stopped fighting. He started moving, he was holding, and I'm like, yeah, this don't look good. And I could see like the blood on his eye, and I'm like, okay, he's hurt. And it seemed like it was more than just, okay, I got punched in my eye. Canelo even told Eddie Hearn in the corner, like, I don't think he can continue. I think I broke his cheekbone. But listen, he has, from the photo, if you look, it looks like it's swollen, but you can actually see like it's dented. You understand what I mean? So he went straight to the hospital after that. And, of course, you wish him well. Hope that he, hey, it's one of these things, man. Look, the dude came to fight. This is war, man. When you get hurt in a fight, that's part of your job on defense is to not get hit with certain shots, fight through certain pain. If you can, you can. If you can't, you can't. I'm not going to call a man a coward because his corner called the fight off. He said he didn't get the response that he wanted. Okay, and basically, it was best that he just called the fight off. Hey, look, he tried. It doesn't take but one punch, really. In certain situations, it doesn't take but one punch. So he did what he could that night. And of course, Billy Joe always talks trash. He wasn't really trash talking in the beginning. He was doing more crazy talk, if anything. I'll let my balls hang, all this, coming to, interviews with his robe on and stuff, and, just being Billy Joe. Like I told everybody, Tyson Fury's presence is not going to have any factor in this fight. He can't fight for him. It's just going to be Billy Joe versus Canelo. That's what it came down to. And he has, like I said, a fractured orbital bone. Now, this guy, I think his name is Brian Sutter. He's a doctor, medical doctor. He did the breakdown of what was the situation is with his eye. I think it's Brian. I know his last name is Sutter. I think it's Brian. Anyway, so Mark Tibbs said, what happened in the corner, and no, Billy Joe wasn't saying he wanted to quit. I made that decision because he couldn't see. And if you can't see, then how you going to get out of the way of punches? And with a guy like Canelo, let's be real. We talking about 4 more rounds to go. Wouldn't have been wise. When a fighter feels something abnormal, you've been punched in the eye before, you had your eye swollen, then you understand what it feels like, and it's like, no, this is not the same thing. The same way with Daniel Dubois, when people, oh, he quit, he's a coward, and then you come to find out, no, it was more than just he got a swollen eye. And again, it's easy to sit there and stuff your mouth with bonbons and popcorn and sit there and talk trash. You're not the one in the ring. You don't even train and get hit. So people need to understand, it's not about being critical of these fighters because, oh, a real warrior doesn't quit. No, most of us fighters are stupid when it comes to that. We don't think about life after boxing or fight. It's more like, yo, fuck, I'm not quitting. I would die before I quit. And that's a fighter. Your cornerman and the referee, okay? When they see these things, it's their job to save you from you. Okay? Sometimes a fighter needs someone to save him from himself. because him or herself, because that's all you know is no, I'm not going to quit. You know, and listen, Billy Joe Saunders is no bum. He's a solid fighter. Canelo just proved to be the superior fighter between the two. It's as simple as that. You know, and from what I saw watching this fight, now you never know what a fighter can learn and improve on. Watching this fight, it's the same thing. If they had a rematch, whatever Billy Joe does, which is no need, I don't even see a need for a rematch, but I'm saying if they was to have a rematch, the same thing applies, man. He has to do whatever he's doing, he has to do it for 12 rounds. And he has to be in a position where he has to give Canelo something to worry about. Because if Canelo's coming in, even if he's getting hit, but you're not really doing anything, and the fact is he can touch you when he really wants to, it's going to be an uphill battle. You know, so if he's throwing shots and he's missing, when you saw when he started missing shots, Billy Joe was doing the right things, and he was right in front of him. I said he need to give, you watched the last video, what did I say? He needs to give lateral movement, pivot. You know what I mean? Spin off of this guy, man. Don't be standing right there in front of him just waiting, and, you know, try to beat him to the punch with just one shot. Because what you're going to do is throw a jab. He's going to shoot to the body and then come up top, bam! And he's punishing to that body. And what he was doing was anytime Billy Joe was backing up and he get even close to the ropes, he would throw the shot to make him go into the ropes so he can, you know, unload. What Billy Joe should have been doing, right, what I was expecting him to do, rather, is when he was going back, what I'm looking at is, man, throw that jab to the body, right? When you throw the shot up top, cool. But when you slide down, move, slide off the ropes. Don't stand there and just wait. And what happens, because Canelo knows as well, if he does that and back you up, you start grabbing, eventually the ref going to start taking a point because it's like, all right, you're grabbing too much. Now you're going to be in a position where, okay, damn, I can't grab him anymore. And you still haven't figured out what you need to do to actually win the rounds, to actually stop Canelo, like you know, really just completely overwhelm him. And when you haven't done that, that's part of the chess game, okay? And Canelo knows, so it's constant pressure. The thing with Canelo, like I said, he don't have the best footwork in the world. Canelo is just relentless with his pressure. He constantly comes. And he moves his head. He doesn't come in a straight line. So he's not just like, okay, I'm here to be hit. He's here to be hit when he throws one hard shot at a time and you make him miss. Then you make him pay because he's wide open. He wings his shots. We've seen it several times from round 5 to round 8. But, you know, once he started landing and he knew he had him. That's why when he was doing this, he wasn't just trying to rally up the crowd. He knew, like, it's all but over now. He was confident. And when Billy Joe wasn't throwing back, it was like, yeah, this looks bad. You know, it looks bad. It's not wise to just start throwing punches and you're hurt and, you know, your bearings is not there. It wasn't that he was dazed or anything. It was just, that's when the eye got hurt. And I think it was an uppercut. If I'm correct, I think it was a left uppercut. And I remember in the clinch, that's when I can see, like, oh shit, I see that. And it's like, it didn't look like that before that. There was a particular clinch in that round. And, you know, look, man, he did what he had to do. Caleb Plant obviously is next. You know, and again, I'm not the kind of person that's going to stand here and say, oh, he's going to destroy Caleb. I just look at each fighter, what they have, and what each guy needs to do to win. That's what I try to do. I don't like to just stand up there, oh, he's going to kill this guy. Because then what's the purpose of even watching the fight if everybody's just going to, you know, this is one of the things, like, you know, let's go back to the Mike Tyson era, right? People was like, man, like, I like to see Mike fight, but damn, man, he knocking dudes out in 1 or 2 rounds. It's like, damn, you know, it's not even worth buying this pay-per-view, you know, stuff like that. You know, I don't like to try to shoot an event down, but let's just be real, okay? Canelo wants to collect Caleb's belt, and I'm pretty sure after watching this fight against Saunders, people are going to look at Caleb and say he's going to kill Caleb Plant because Caleb is no better than Saunders, or, you know, that's how they're rating him. You could be right, you could be wrong. My whole thing is, if I'm going to watch the fight, I don't need you to tell me what's going to happen. I need to watch the fight and see it for myself. So, you know, I thought it was a good fight, man. It was, you know, Billy Joe put up the best fight that he could. So that's why I like to say, I'd rather say what I was expecting or looking at, what, you know, instead of saying what he should have been doing, because it still might not work the way you want it to if Canelo can keep making adjustments. But what really happened was, what I saw, when I say you got to give him different looks, he started getting comfortable when he was landing those shots. But that's when I felt like he needed to move more. Because now Canelo's expecting you to keep standing there trying to throw those shots. He's going to land something, right? But that's why we're saying everything that Billy Joe did that was working, he's going to have to do it for 12 rounds. And you're going to have to give him different looks. He's trying to time you. You got to miss him. Okay, you popping him. All right, cool. Now, start to get back on that movement. Give him different angles. Make him have to, frustrate him. Don't stand there and let him start to find the range. Once Canelo starts to find the range, it's going to be a problem. So he did what he had to do. I think it was a good fight. I salute both fighters. Now, Demetrius Andrade crashes the party, starts calling him out, and hey, when you gonna fight me? He's telling him, get the fuck out of here. You're a terrible fighter. Yada yada yada. Okay, I don't care about all the war words, But at the end of the day, we know that that's not going to be the next fight. The Charlo started talking about, yeah, let's make this fight. We want to do it, yada, yada. Okay. We know that he wants to unify. Now, I feel like, yeah, unify the division. Do what you set out to do first. Then, whether it's the Charlos, either Charlo, whether it's Andre, whoever it may be, I feel like it should be one of them, at least. But understand this as well. Billy Joe Saunders is no pushover. And it was a good fight. He didn't just walk through him, but he did from, in the round 8, once he hurt him. Like I said, it was all but over. And pretty much, I think that they did the right thing for that man's eye. Life after boxing, it's just not necessary to stand up there and you can't see the punches coming. And then you got a power puncher like him who can break you down from the body and the head and end up in a bad way. Where now you land up there with your family and probably, yourself, fighters don't want to admit it, but thinking, damn, that fight should have been stopped, So, and again, you saw he went straight to the hospital. So, that's what I saw, and I thought it was a good fight. But like I said, the better man won. So, pause. So again, whether it's Andre or whether it's Charlo, we all want to see that. I know I do. Anyway, it was a solid fight. I might elaborate on some things a little bit more after I, read the comments and we go through some things. I might just talk about some other things surrounding that. But, it is what it is, man. And regardless, of course, Andre said he'd go up to 168. Charlo said the same thing, that he'd go up to 168. So we'll see what happens with that. Never fall in love with lies. Remember, the truth brings hate out of people, and I will catch y'all in the next video.